I'm Gavin, and I was bearing the largest load I could possibly bear. And this morning, my wife says, "You realize you're wearing a Snorlax suit?" And so I proceeded to go investigate other suits. And I responded to her. I said, "I found a suit that cost $1,000, and how much would it cost to keep that thing clean?" And so yeah, I just want to show you some suits that could be worn, and maybe like Grimgriz could have these suits, and we could get him in some suits and get him nice and clean, and then when you wear a suit, if you wear the right suit, people will treat you a certain way, right? So I'm going to show you something I found that was shown to me. Okay, so 5 suits with the right, like with 3 different colored shirts, can be paired together to create 75 different suits. So maybe we buy some suits for Grimgriz, but here are the suits, and we could get them custom tailored, right? And so the 5 must-have suits, you've got the black suit, and you have the navy suit, and you have the gray suit, and you have the brown suit, and you have the tan suit. And then the shirts you would have is white, powder, blue, or cream. And and then you can mix and match, right? I've got some shoes that are like that. We can get some shoes, and then you've got this 75 different combinations, right? So yeah, we could have a suit. Now let me switch back. Now, perhaps if I was wearing the right suit, you would pay me more respect. But because I'm in this suit, you may not be here anymore. um, and so, there's Jordan Peterson will say, and he likes to wear suits. He will say to carry your cross, pick up what does he say? He says something like, find the biggest cross you can bear and carry it, something like that. So I hesitate on that one because Jesus lived for like 30 years before he picked up his cross. And so, what was he doing before that? Was he partying? It seems like he knew how to throw a party, like having fun and partying. Was he playing games? It seems like he knew how to play with the children. And, was he enjoying being a craftsman? The joy of building things with your hands. It's like, so he was not carrying his cross for like 30 years. And so we may be someone who has a cross to bear in the future, but we can live here and now and play and dance and party and have fun in a kind and loving, patient, gentle way. And when the time is right, when there's a cross that nobody else will carry and you are there to carry it, then you pick it up and carry it. And this is a very different approach to life, right? It's not that we should be carrying our cross our entire life. That's the wrong way to live. At least this is what I was shown today. It is not a good idea that we would carry our cross our entire lives. That we would be picking up the heaviest load we can possibly carry and carrying that thing our entire life. That's just not good. And so, yeah, I hesitate to agree because I think Jordan Peterson is teaching something that is not good. So we should not be afraid to pick up that heavy cross and carry it when the time is right. And once we pick up that heavy cross, once they throw us up on a cross and torture us to death, we will be able to remember that entire life of joy and beauty and dancing and partying and playing. And so enjoy life. Remember to enjoy life. If you spend your entire life trying to find the biggest cross you can carry, you're making a mistake, because that giant cross that you can carry, it could be at the tail end of your life, where you get to have a good death. So make sure you have a good life before you have your good death. Don't just live your entire life sacrificing, partying, and joy, and play. And I'm just saying this from experience of having been someone this morning and recently wrestling with the spirit of ambition and the spirit of pride, the spirit of knowing the kind of cross I can bear and looking for that cross and just carrying a heavy load instead of being able to dance and sing and play and party. So, and to do it with the right spirit. So yeah, from a man in a suit I pray you will enjoy your life, because I believe Jesus enjoyed his life. He enjoyed almost all of his life up until, those last days, those last moments that were just a blink of an eye in comparison to that entire journey, which was his life. That's what I choose to believe. And I had been ignoring the life of Jesus. And perhaps Christians ignore the life of Jesus and focus more on the end of his life, his last days. They focus more on that than his entire life. So let me know what you think. Are we going to buy 5 suits and some shirts and have them custom tailored for Grimgriz so that I don't even know if he would put on that suit. But it's just funny that the suit we wear can shape the way people perceive us. It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah, go to Disney World and look at all the characters wearing suits. I want to point out that this tendency for us that we may want to carry a heavy load and be burdened by a heavy load, I think it may be the result of these stories that are in movies that take an hour and a half or 2 hours, which do not include the entire journey of the character in the story. It's just snapshots and glimpses and milestones and markers that lead up to the place where there is the most drama, the most intensity. And it ignores those moments along the path where there was, the peace that existed along the path get ignored because they only have an hour and a half, 2 hours to tell a story, and they're trying to squeeze as much into that 1.5 to 2 hours to get you to, they want to capture your attention. And so in this attention economy, which has transformed over the years, perhaps we have become people who attempt to live life as if we should be in that state of intense drama that is without peace, when perhaps most of our life should be filled with peace, and it should only be that good death at the end of a long life where we sacrifice the peace for the peace of the world, something like that. So yeah, I put out invitations for people to take on more responsibility, but I also need to practice being able to, carry a light load and to be lighthearted. So yeah, there needs to be the right amount of lightheartedness and heavy-heartedness. Carrying a light load and carrying a heavy load. And perhaps most of life should be lighthearted. And it's only, small parts of life that are heavy-hearted. And that would be an ideal life, an ideal route. If you're a climber, you climb a route. And if you're a hiker, you hike a path. And so, yeah, what is the ideal path and the ideal route? I think that there will be challenging moments, which can be heavy, but along that path, most of that path will include kind of a lightness. So, let me know what you think. Bye-bye.